guys, welcome back to my channel. It's just me, Cheryl. So, I need to make some earring moulds for Christmas. I bought me acrylic blanks, I bought some snowflakes and I bought some bows and some stars. And I need to make them into silicone moulds so that I can make me resin earrings. I've made silicone moulds once before, not perfect, but they do a good job. The earrings that I'm wearing now, these are made from my own little DIY silicone moulds. It's not really that hard to make. They're a bit fiddly, I must admit, but I was making some last night and I thought, why not show you what I'm doing? It may help a few people, it might not. You might see better videos out there, but yeah. So last night I made me silicone moulds. I've made 2 moulds and there's quite a lot of earrings that I'm going to get out of them. I did notice one little mistake though, and I'll probably point this out at the end of the video. You may actually notice it. You might not, but I will kind of explain at the end of the video why I think it's a mistake. And it actually makes sense to me from the first time when I ever made a silicone mould. Do you know when you're pouring your resin into them and you think, why is that one being a bit funny? And now I know why, or I think I know why anyways. I need to obviously make me Christmas earrings, so like I had said, I ordered snowflakes, I ordered bows, and I ordered some stars. Now I'll just say, I'm not going to tell anybody where I get me blanks from. I've did a lot of research in the past for my business and I kind of don't want to share where I get me blanks from. I'm really sorry, I do apologise. I'll share where I get me silicone from, all the other stuff, but not me blanks. I'm very protective over me blanks because they're the shapes that I use obviously for my earrings that I sell. So yeah, just don't ask, I won't tell you. Sorry, terrible. But anyway, so yeah, last night I made all of the moulds. I've recorded everything, so we'll just get into this video and then I'm going to demold them because I have got them sitting here in this box. Yeah, and we'll just kind of take all the blanks out and see what they look like. So this is a silicone mould making kit that I bought from Amazon. It's by a company called Decorum and it cost us £24.99. I'll leave links below to where you can get it. I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I'll just leave it if you're curious if you want to buy it. So this is what I've used to make me moulds. I've got this brown sticky sort of tape, not sure what it is, some Tupperware, I've got my hot glue gun and some glue sticks and just an old tub and obviously a baby spoon which I don't use anymore, and my blanks. And you will also need a set of scales as well so you can measure everything out properly. So over the top of my acrylic blanks there's like this kind of protective film that goes over the top of them and you need to peel it off. Oh my god, if anybody knows any quick ways of getting this stuff off then please leave a comment below because it's an absolute nightmare and it really ruined my nails as well trying to peel it off. I wasn't very happy. Right, I'm really sorry about the close-up, like I don't know what was going on with my camera angle here, but as you can see I'm just cutting the bottoms off the Tupperware and just really hacking away if I'm honest because it was like really hard to cut these off. So after I cut the bottoms of my Tupperware off, I got that weird brown tape and I just stuck it over like the nice edge of the Tupperware, you know, like the kind of the main part, the top part that's not all ragged. I just stuck my weird brown tape over the top and had the sticky side facing the inside the Tupperware because that's where I'm going to be sticking the blanks down. Sorry if this all sounds proper gobbledygook, but I'm terrible at getting my words out, but you can see what I'm doing, can't you? Like, it's there in front of you, you can see what I'm doing. So now I'm just sticking the blanks down. I'm trying to just use my fingernails to kind of push the blanks in and not using the tips of my fingers, because I think if you use the tips of your fingers, then you'll probably put fingerprints, you know, on the nice shiny part, and you don't want that transferring onto your mould, do you? So even though I'm going to be cleaning it after, I still just use my nails to kind of prod them in place. Oh, look at them, man. Honestly, they just look absolutely gorgeous. I wasn't meant to get mirrored acrylic blanks. I did just ask for pink, but my woman sent me pink mirrored acrylic, and honestly, if she was in front of us right now, I'd probably give her a massive kiss because they are just so gorgeous. So I just moved on to tray 2 with snowflakes and a couple more stars, and just done exactly the same thing. Just kind of got them in, you know, the places where I wanted them to be. Try to basically squeeze as many as I could together without, you know, like them touching each other, because I want to make as many earrings as I can. Right, I'm just getting my hot glue gun here and I'm gluing around all of the edges of my Tupperware. I'm just doing this because if my Tupperware hasn't stuck down to that weird brown tape properly and I put the silicone inside of the Tupperware dish, it could possibly like leak out of the bottom, so the hot glue gun is just going to prevent that from happening. So I've just got a cloth here and I'm just wiping over the tops of all my pieces just to try and get any dust off, just to get any fingerprints off, because I want my moulds to be as smooth as I possibly can. Now for the mixing the silicone. Basically it's really simple. I just mix part A with part B and it's 1:1 equal parts. I didn't actually mix enough of the silicone to go between the two dishes. I think I should have mixed a bit more. I think in total I did 180 grams, so it was like 90 grams per tub. That just wasn't enough. Like honestly, you need to do a bit more if you don't want like a thin floppy silicone mould. So I really wanted pink silicone moulds, so I added some pink mica powder. These mica powders I got as like a big set off Amazon, so I'll leave them linked below. And as you've seen, I just kind of like sprinkled some in and just kept mixing. And then finally, the last bit, just pouring it over. I think if you pour it over from like a height, it's meant to get less air bubbles. Obviously don't do what I just done and pour it over the edge, but you know, it's what it is. I probably should have wore gloves when I done this, but I didn't. Yeah, but doesn't it look pretty? It's all gets swirly with the makeup powder. It's like a proper pearly kind of effect. It just looks really nice. Now you see where I'm pointing at this snowflake? There's a problem with that snowflake, but I'll explain at the end. And now I just have to leave these silicones to basically set for 12 hours and then I can demold them. So as you'll see guys, I'm a little bit rough when I'm demolding them. That brown sticky weird tape did not want to come off the bottom. I really had to try and find an edge to pull it, but I managed to do it. So as you can see, the acrylic blanks are just popping out of the silicone mould. However, some of them, as you can see there, the silicone had kind of like seeped underneath, and yeah, it was proving a bit difficult, especially on the snowflake mould. My god, they were hard to get out, and I even snapped one of the snowflakes as well. I was a little bit devastated, I'm not gonna lie. Desperate times, this is as are out. I'm just cutting kind of the overspill of the silicone just so I can get these snowflakes out, but honestly it was an absolute nightmare, like really hard. So now that they're all demolded, I'm just trimming a little bit of the overspill as well, just being careful not to actually damage the mould. Right guys, I've just kind of demolded the silicone moulds that I've just made. I'm a little bit deflated, like I'm not going to lie. I feel like the first time I ever attempted to make silicone moulds was much better than my second time. Like how does that even happen? When I make my resin earrings, it's not actually going to affect the final result of the resin earrings. It's just the moulds are a bit crap. Like they haven't really turned out as good as what they could have done. But anyways, I think one of the first things, as you can see, they're really floppy. They feel very thin, so I didn't put enough silicone. I couldn't remember what I had done last time for the measurement, so this time I had done in total 180 grams, and that was to kind of divide between two, so it was like 90 grams for this one, 90 grams for that one as silicone. Probably could have done maybe like 120 grams, maybe 130 grams per kind of Tupperware tub to make them just a little bit thicker, but that's not going to affect the final result of my resin pieces because all of my shapes, like my blanks and that, they're all super shiny and super smooth and they're a good thickness. They're like the correct thickness that they should be. It's just the mould feels like very floppy and very thin. I don't know how long that'll last, especially for whatever reason it's like thicker on one side and thinner on the other side, even though my desk's level. I don't know. There's not really any air bubbles that I can see, so that's alright. And obviously I had put pink makeup powder inside of the silicone, which I've never done before, to make it pink and pretty, obviously because I love pink, and that's turned out alright. The method that I had done with the sellotape, or the whatever that is, that brown tape, it wasn't level and it was a little bit bumpy. So when the shapes have kind of sat on top of it, it's just kind of like bits of the silicones like ran underneath some of the shapes. It's not too bad on the bows, but I think this was probably the worst mould that I've ever made in my life. And yeah, it just kind of ran underneath. And when I was saying at the beginning that there was a bit of an issue, one of the snowflakes was kind of sitting like that on a bit of an angle because of the way the sellotape, it wasn't flat on the table, it was raised a bit, but I had already hot glued around the edges so I couldn't really move it. So when I put the silicone on top, I noticed that it was slightly sticking up a bit. It hasn't went through the silicone, but what I think will happen is I'll get a piece, so every time I put my resin in that mould, I'll get one of the snowflakes where it looks like it's thicker on one side, so it'll not be completely level. And that's what's been happening with a few of me flowers. I had made like my first silicone mould with my flowers, and I had noticed that there were some bits that were like higher than others, and I was thinking, well, I've trimmed all the edges, you know, on the back, it's level, why is it doing it? And I think it's because my actual blanks weren't sitting flat, they were sitting like that. So if you ever do this, just be really careful about the placement of your blanks and make sure they are super flat if you want like a really level, like a level. I mean, for me it doesn't really make too much of a difference because sometimes I do sand the backs of my earrings anyways, but if I can get away with not sanding the backs of my earrings, then I would rather not sand the backs of my earrings, you know what I mean? So yeah, I still need to trim all of these little excess bits, but it hasn't affected me mould. It just, obviously, like you had seen in the video, I went to take a snowflake out, and because the silicone had leaked underneath, I was a bit too forceful and I snapped one of my blanks. That's just terrible, but no biggie, no biggie. So yeah, I'm going to do another video of us pouring resin into these and to show you that even though they look a bit crap to look at, they actually work really well. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't forget to like this video, subscribe so you can watch my next video, and yeah, I'll see you soon to make some earrings.